Hi, this is Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star. Came across a stat today. Maybe this isn't an Ask Joel, maybe this is more of a Respond Joel, but people were interested in it. Just came across a stat today looking on Pro Football Reference. The Dolphins blitzed on Sunday on 51.5% of their snaps. It essentially didn't work. They got one sack. They got one other quarterback hit. The sack they got wasn't even a blitz rush that got there. It was just a one-on-one that Bernard Ryman got beat by a spin move by veteran pass rusher Bradley Chubb. Other than that, Daniel Jones had a lot of time. He had to scramble a couple times, let it go early a couple times. Those can be where the quarterback's hot and he has to get rid of it. But for the most part, the Colts just really handled the blitz. And people have been wondering, who's responsible for that. I think it goes all the way around. Number one, I think Tony Sparano Jr. deserves a ton of credit. The assistant coach, the assistant offensive line coach. We need to ask this. I'll probably ask this this week at some point. But usually the offensive line coach has a significant hand in how they block blitzes, the rules they use when teams bring stuff they haven't seen before. But it's not just Tony Sparano Jr. because offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter said there was stuff in the Dolphins game last year that they felt like they didn't pick up very well. And so what they did was they went back and looked at it and was like, we've got to drill these down right so that we know what to expect when they're coming. So the offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, involved in it. And then, ultimately a lot of it comes down to Tanner Bortolini at center and the rest of the offensive line. Bortolini, this is the stuff that kept him from starting more games last year. He started several in place of Ryan Kelly, but when Kelly went out at one point and Bortolini was out, they put in Danny Pinter, and the Colts decided to stick with it. And that's why there was a competition going into this year. It's not something athletic. Tanner Bortolini is freakishly athletic for a center. He had to be able to handle all of the other stuff that they had to do pre-snap. Matt Gonzalez was telling us, it really starts with the center, the identification, the protection call he makes. And then we have to follow it. We have to know our rules and do everything that we're supposed to do. And they did that. And then the other person that deserves credit, and he's still polarizing for whatever reason, after one of the better games of his career, 22 of 29, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. I get it. Miami's secondary is not good. You don't like the names you see when you look there, except for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's probably a little past the days of Minkah Fitzpatrick being great. But Daniel Jones deserves credit for this. He switched the protection on the 21-yard shot to Tyler Warren that got that first drive really down into field goal range. He changed the protection on fourth down. He changed the protection on the fourth down where he flipped it out to downs for a first down. There were other calls he made like that where he changed the protection, got it right, saw something in the Dolphins defense and said, I have an answer for that. I found an answer for that. This is one of the things we've heard about him. Really, Shane Steichen said it plainly. Like, this is one of the reasons he has the job. One of the reasons he has the job is just he does a better job with the protections. He does a better job with the checks, knowing where to go than Anthony Richardson did. And you could see it. You can see it against a team that blitzes as heavy as the Dolphins do. So everyone, no one likes to hear that. They want to. It's simpler. It's a lot simpler to just say, well, it's Tony Sparano, it's Tanner Bortolini. Just give one person the credit. It really is everybody in there making some kind of improvement or a decision in Shane Steichen's case to go with the quarterback who's better at that stuff that leads to that. Now, all that being said, I know some people, and this is, I think, maybe the most common refrain I've heard, so maybe this is the Ask Joel portion of this video, is this is the Dolphins. They're not very good. And there is some truth to that. I think there's a lot of stuff that can happen in openers. Games get away from teams really fast. They're not really sure who they are yet. They don't know how to come back. The Dolphins, I think, as we all know, had a lot of stuff going on coming into this season that, make you wonder what's what they're going to look like. Are they going to be any good? You got all that stuff going on. And so, yeah, the Dolphins are not a very good team. I think, though, that we're going to get a better answer this week. The Denver Broncos are coming. Vance Joseph, that defense, Nick Bonito, better pass rushers, not more blitz calls, but probably better blitz calls. The Pro Football Reference data is a little noisy or I guess in this case, lack of noisy, because it says the Broncos didn't blitz at all last week against the Titans. Maybe they didn't have to. Maybe that was part of their game plan against Cam Ward, was to make it look like stuff was coming and then not use it. I didn't see the game. They have a sack by a slot corner. So there's two ways that could happen. It's either a blitz or Ward tried to scramble and the corner came up and made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. So there's two ways that could have gone. It says they didn't blitz. It seems like they probably did a little bit less than they normally do. Because last year, if you go back and look at the numbers last year, this is a Broncos team that was 7th in the NFL in blitz rate. They blitzed 29% of the time. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it, better designed with better personnel on Sunday. And we get a chance right away to find out, was it the Dolphins? Was it the Dolphins? Was it all of these improvements that we think maybe the Colts made? Does Daniel Jones has all of that preparation that everybody's talked about? Is it going to pay off with blitz identification and getting guys blocked? We're going to find all that out with Denver. Like that's the thing is it's, you get to find out right away if it's a one-off or if this team looks the same or similar next game. The Broncos are going to test them in more ways defensively and probably in better ways. So we're going to find out. It was just very interesting to see this team. I think if you go back and look, when Anthony Richardson's been in, he's very good at evading sacks. I don't think that this team was great at picking up blitzes when Anthony Richardson was the starting quarterback. I think it happened a little bit with Flacco as well. It's something that definitely needed to improve. For 1 week, it looks like it has. We get more data points starting on Sunday. For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson. This has been an Ask Joel. Have more of these throughout the week.